Good morning students. Today I am making this particular video on request of a student from class 8. The name of the chapter is The Tsunami. Now let us start the lesson. Alright. The chapter number is 2. The name of the lesson is The Tsunami. Tsunami is a Japanese word. Su means harbor, the shelter of ships, and Nami means waves, sea waves. Okay, follow the lines. Before you read, look at the map of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands given here. You can see the maps here, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. North Andaman, Middle Andaman, Lower Andaman, Port Blair, Andaman Sea, Little Andaman. After that below, you will find Nicobar Islands, that is Indian Ocean, Car Nicobar, Tarasa, Little Nicobar, Great Nicobar. Now read the sentences below. Rewrite the incorrect ones after correcting the mistakes. Kachal is an island. You can see here on the map. Kachal is an island. Yes, it is. You can find in Nicobar Islands. Yes, first one is correct. Number 1 is correct. Kachal is an island. Next you will find 2 number. It's a part of the Andaman group of islands. Is it? You can see on the map. No, it is not. Because Kachal is not a part of Andaman. It's a part of Nicobar Islands. So number 1 is correct. Number 2 is incorrect. Non-Crowley is an island in the Nicobar group. Number 3. Yes, it is. Non-Crowley you can see here in the group of islands of Nicobar Islands. Number 1, Kachal is an island. Correct. Number 2, it's a part of Andaman group of islands. Incorrect. Non-Crowley is an island in the Nicobar group. Yes, it is. Number 4, Kachal and Non-Crowley are more than 100 miles apart. You can see on the map, Kachal and Non-Crowley are not more than 100 miles apart. So number 4 is incorrect. Number 5, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands are to the west of India. No, these are to the east of India. Number 6, the Nicobar Islands are to the north of the Andaman Islands. Number 6, incorrect. So number 1 is correct, number 2 is incorrect, number 3 is correct, number 4 is incorrect, number 5 is incorrect, number 6 is incorrect. So here you will find number 1 is correct, number 2 incorrect, number 3 correct, number 4 incorrect, 5 incorrect, 6 incorrect. Here is in this lesson of part 1, there will be 2 main points to be discussed. That are, number 1 is people who faced the deadly tsunami on 26 December in 2004. Number 2 is it will discuss the lives of different people who were from both Andaman and Nicobar archipelago and how they suffered. Archipelago means a group of many islands and the surrounding sea. So you can find the meaning of the words in your book. Now let us read the lesson. A tsunami is a very large and powerful wave caused by earthquakes under the sea. Yet tsunami spelling Tsunami. T is a silent word. That's why tsunami. I have already told you that Shu means harbor, shelter of ships, and Nami means waves of the sea. A tsunami is a very large and powerful waves caused by earthquakes under the sea, not above the sea. On 26 December 2004, a tsunami hit Thailand, remember the name of the place, and parts of India such as the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Tamil Nadu coast. Here are some stories of courage and survival. So you have to remember the date, that is on 26 December in 2004. That hit Thailand. Next, the parts of India such as Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the Tamil Nadu coast. So remember the names. Here are some stories of courage and survival. So here you will find some stories of bravery and survival, how they will survive. Did animals sense that a tsunami was coming? Some stories suggest that they did. So here is a question for all of you, that did animals sense that a tsunami was coming? Can animal feel it that a tsunami is coming? So according to some stories, it says that they can sense it. Let's go to the another lines. These stories are all from Andaman and Nicobar archipelago. These stories are all from some islands of Andaman and Nicobar. Archipelago means a group of many islands and the surrounding sea. If a question comes from where the stories are taken, Andaman and Nicobar archipelago. Or you can say from some islands of Andaman and Nicobar. There are a few characters here. One is Ignatius, and wife's mother and father. Another name is Sanjeev, was a policeman, and his wife and his baby daughter. And after that you will find John, the guest house cook. One more character you will find Meghna, 13-year-old girl. One more character you will find Almas Javed. She was a student. Ignatius was the manager of a cooperative society in Kachal. So cooperative, that is economic group. So Ignatius, he was a manager of this society. That means he worked there. His wife woke him up at 6 a.m. because she felt an earthquake. So what happened? As you have known that Ignatius was the manager of a cooperative society in the place named Kachal, and in that particular morning, his wife woke him up. On that particular day, she felt an earthquake. That's why she woke him up at 6 a.m. That means in the morning. There is a difference between get up and wake up. Get up means you leave the bed. Whenever you say I get up at 7 o'clock, that means you have already left your bed. If you say I wake up at 6, that means you are still on the bed. You are still lying on the bed. Now you can say I wake up at 6, but I get up at 7 o'clock. Ignatius carefully took his television set off its table and put it down on the ground so that it would not fall and break. And then the family rushed out of the house. So what happened? On that particular day, Ignatius' wife felt an earthquake. She woke him up at 6 a.m. So Ignatius immediately took his television set off its table and put it down on the ground so that it would not fall or break. Then the family rushed out of the house. Rush out means move forward violently. Whenever Ignatius' wife felt an earthquake, she woke him up at 6 a.m. and then her husband, so he immediately removed his television from the table and then put it down on the ground so that it would not fall or break. Next paragraph. When the tremor stopped. Tremors means a slight shake. Tremor means a slight shaking or shaking during an earthquake. When the tremor stopped, when the shaking was stopped, they saw the sea rising. It was a very dreadful and frightening, and it was so frightening to see. So when the tremor stopped, they saw the sea rising. The waves of the sea was rising so high. In the chaos and confusion, chaos means complete disorder. That means not in peace, not in calm. And being confused, two of his children caught hold of hands of their mother's father and mother's brother and rushed in the opposite direction. When the shaking was stopped, they saw the rising sea and the waves were rising so high. So being confused and in disorder, they took their children. They hold their children. That means the grandfather and the maternal uncle held the hands of their children and ran violently towards opposite direction. But what happened? After that, he never saw them again. His wife was also swept away. That means she was also flowed away with the waves. Only the three other children who came with him were safe. And there were three other children also who came with him. They were safe. Swept away means remove, destroy, flows. Sanjeev was a policeman serving in the Kachal. Sanjeev was a policeman who worked in the Kachal Island. So Kachal Island is in which group of islands? You can see on the map, there you will find Kachal is in the Nicobar group of islands. Now Sanjeev he somehow managed to save himself, his wife and his baby daughter from the waves. So what happened? The policeman could save himself and his wife and his baby daughter from the waves. Sanjeev was very lucky. He could save himself. Not only he could save himself, but also his wife and his baby daughter from the dangerous waves. Then he heard cries for help from the wife of John. So who is John? John was the guest house cook. So when he saved himself and his wife and his baby daughter, at that moment he heard cries for help from others. That was the wife of John, the guest house cook. And Sanjeev jumped into the water to rescue her. Rescue means save, but they were both swept away. So it was so unlucky, both of them swept away. In the next paragraph, 13-year-old Meghna was swept away along with her parents and 77 other people. So here we will find another character, that is Meghna. She was of 13. One more character we have found here, that is Meghna. Her age is 13 years. She was floating on the sea for 2 days, holding on to a wooden door. As we know, tsunami destroys everything, so she found a wooden door there. 11 times she saw the rescue team or the relief helicopters over her head, but she could not shout. So 11 times she saw relief helicopters over her head. So 11 times she saw the rescue team over her head. The helicopter came to rescue the suffered people, but they did not see her. She was brought to the shore by a wave and found walking on the seashore in a daze. Daze means a physical shock, make unable to think or react properly. One more character you will find here, Almaz Javed, 10 years old girl. You will find archipelago. Here you will find the word manager of cooperative society. Then you will find Rasal. Tremors. This is Sanjeev, and this is Meghna, and this is Almaz. Almaz Javed was 10 years old. She was a student of Carmel Convent in Port Blair, where her father had a petrol pump. Her mother Rahila's home was in Non-Crowley Island. The family had gone there to celebrate Christmas. So what happened? Another name of a girl. She was Almaz Javed. She was of 10. She was a student of Carmel Convent in Port Blair. So her father had a petrol pump. Her mother's name was Rahila, whose house was in the Non-Crowley Island. The family had gone there to celebrate Christmas. Almaz's father saw the sea water recede. So first time when it was sinking, after that it went back. When tremors came, they were sleeping, and Almaz's father saw the sea waves went back. He understood that the water would come rushing back with a great force. So when all water went backside, that means what? The water would come back with a high force. He woke everyone up and tried to rush them to a safer place. So what happened? He woke everyone. He told everyone to get up and try to rush them to a safer place. So what happened when they were running? Her grandfather was hit on the head by something and he fell down. And her father rushed to help him. Then came the first giant wave that swept both of them away. Almaz's mother and aunt stood clinging to the leaves of a coconut tree. So water level was so high up to the coconut tree. A wave uprooted the tree and they were to wash away. So what happened? Another wave came. So each wave was very strong. A wave uprooted the tree, it removed the tree, and they too were washed away. They were also floated with the waves of the sea. They were also floated with the water. Almaz saw a log of wood floating. She climbed onto it. Then she fainted. She was in a hospital in Kamota. From there she was brought to Port Blair. So what happened? Almaz's mother and aunts, they were clinging to the leaves of a coconut tree and were shouting and crying, calling out to her. But another wave came and removed the tree. That means uprooted the tree. They were also floated with the water. Log means the trunk of a tree. When it is cut, it's because there is no leaf attached to it. She climbed onto the log and then she becomes senseless. When she opened her eyes, when she woke up, she found herself in a hospital, that is in Kamruta. From there she was brought to Port Blair. The little girl does not want to talk about the incident with anyone. She is still traumatized because she lost her own family members, and also she witnessed a dreadful waves, and still now she is traumatized. Traumatized means greatly shocked and distressed. She is in distress. What she saw there, it was unprecedented, not possible for her to forget it at once. So this is the story of this lesson, part 1. I hope you will try to understand this with the help of the meaning of the words.